of the questions I get asked often is, why even choose agriculture of all things? Why don't you just go and get a job in a normal company, another company? Why don't you just go and start something so that you can be receiving salary and living a better life at least? But agriculture is something that's been so dear to me. My dad used to farm. My dad has been a farmer also. And some other people will say, but you have a good result. You graduated with 2-1 in mechanical engineering. So some people be like, just go and get a job. Then you start to get a job in a telecoms company and another company. You just need to search properly, right? But agriculture is something that's been dear to me. My dad was a farmer. And but most importantly, I've been a boy who just loved solving problems. I solved problems on paper. I liked thinking about problems and then thinking about their solutions. So agriculture didn't just come. I actually first started. I didn't want to be a farmer. I didn't want to have anything to do about farming or teaching. Those were not my thing, right? But I just love solving problems. That's why I went for an engineering course. I wanted to study engineering to think about how to solve problems. And then as an engineer, we learned about thinking from first principles. But in my year in school, I just thought, Joshua, you need to start solving real life problems. You need to start solving real life problems. Start thinking about what can I do to fix this. You see that there's so many things that need solutions. There's many problems that need solutions. And then I started thinking, okay, what can I do? And I saw starting from my school, I saw that so many people were not interested in the education anymore. I started thinking, what kind of solutions that I can do. I started reasoning from first principles. I began to draw it down to the foundational problems, and I started some kind of businesses to try to fix all those things. Like I started some educational centers and things like that. And when I left school for that. But when I came back, I started thinking, what problem is there to solve? First of all, back then in school, one of my neighbors was like, she's into palm oil. And so I started thinking about, okay, this palm oil, this is the business around palm oil, blah, blah, blah. So I said, let me venture into this business opportunity. And then I began to saw that, yes, Nigeria has vast land, vast resources and things like that, but they are so underutilized. So I saw that the fact that we're producing large quantities of palm oil was not enough. We still have to import palm oil from other countries like Malaysia, Indonesia, and countries like that. So I thought there's a problem here to solve because the population is increasing, and then the 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 demand, that means the demand is increasing, but the supply is still slow. What's the reason for that? And then through my studies, I began to see that there were still some issues with processing. There's some issues with the supply side, even with the farming side. So many farmers are still making use of old technologies, old, old methods to produce, and then there's still many bad things like bad road networks, bad communications network between farmers and then people that are demanding this goods. So I began to say, okay, how can I venture this into the solution that's going to come forth? Because even though you don't provide solution is going to come out from somewhere else. So I began to say, okay, since this, I began to venture into agriculture to learn. I stayed with some different farmers at different times in my life to try to learn people who are doing farming, hunger farming. I stayed with the farmers, I stayed with a few with the people in the logistics side. I began to see that the main problem was the logistics. The main problem is that they are not just mainly that people are using old methods. And that's how I found myself that the problem I need to solve is to think about how agriculture can cater for the growing population of Africa. So that's how I found myself here. So generally, everything is just so not easy, especially when you're somebody who has good result and then you have good potentials and if you go to the career side, but people also people make you feel good, feel like you're throwing away so many opportunities you're supposed to grab while you're suffering, trying to build something, you know how business is, trying to build something from the scratch. So yeah, that's how I find myself in agriculture. It's a thing of joy. I have peace, I have fulfillment. It's not easy, but we love what we're doing. Yeah, so when I was posted to my service, I decided that I wanted to be posted to an agricultural states where they do deal with palm oil, and I was posted to Edo State in Nigeria. And so that's how I started. I decided that okay, yeah, but God, nature knows what I want, and they brought me to where I can learn more and start bringing about solutions from. And then so I did my service in Edo States, and right from day one, I met with a farmer who was into the palm oil space. He dealt with palm oil and palm kernel. And I started working with him throughout my service here while I was serving. So that was how I started learning more about the space, and then making some few cash here and there. And that's how I started to plan my my steps to achieve the solutions which I'm still working on. So yeah, no, it's not easy at all. But when you put your mind that you want to achieve something, I just feel like nature, God begin to bring things in your path, begin to direct you, or they begin to say, okay, here, this is what my boy wants, take this, take this. We begin to mix different experiences, both good and bad. Begin to mix the lessons. That's how the lessons are. Some days you get disciplined for not doing your assignment properly, and some days you get rewarded for scoring excellently. So that's where I found myself, and then agriculture is something that I love. So yeah, for myself, what I want to tell myself is it's not going to be easy going from now to solving problems. It's not going to be easy. You're going to meet lots of challenges, lots of cartels on the way in trying to figure out processing problems in Nigeria food space. But you just have to keep being disciplined. You have to keep being consistent. You don't have to give up no matter the challenges that come up. You have to keep moving and also find the right mentors. That's just one important thing, Josh. You have to just find the right mentors. You know, it's not just about what happens to you, it's about how you react to those things that happen to you. So that's just what I'm going to say. And then remember to carry the right people along, build a nice team, and never give up. I wish you success.